Hello, Aries. Today, I'm not here to tell you just another story. I'm here to talk about a moment, one that not everyone gets to experience, and if you miss it, you may have to wait another 12 years for it to return. This August, the universe is placing a door right in front of you. On the other side is an entirely new chapter of your life. On this side is everything you've known, but also everything that's been holding you back. The truth is that door won't stay open forever. And when it closes, no one, not even you, will be able to open it again for a long, long cycle. Just imagine standing in front of that light, feeling its warmth spread into every breath, yet hearing the call of the darkness behind you. This moment, it's the test of your soul, and to truly understand where you stand in this destined moment, we need to begin with the final call the universe is sending you. Aries, close your eyes for just a few seconds, and imagine you're standing in front of a massive door. This August, that door glows with a soft yet powerful light. It shines straight onto your face, illuminating every heartbeat, every breath you take. Behind you is the darkness, not the kind you fear, but everything that has already passed. Old stories, closed chapters, dreams you once clung to so tightly your hands ached. And ahead is a light you've never stepped into. No one knows exactly what's inside, but you can feel it, it's calling your name. I believe every soul at some point faces a moment like this, a threshold of destiny, but not everyone is awake enough to see it. Many stand before it unaware that if they turn back, that door will close and never open again in this lifetime. Others linger too long, bound by fear, and let it slip away. Aries, I hope you're not one of them. A destined door isn't a prize laid out for you, and it's not just a lucky chance. It's an invitation to step through and meet a different version of yourself. On the other side, you will no longer be who you are today. You'll carry a new heartbeat, a new gaze, and a strength you never knew you had. But to get there, you have to be willing to leave behind the familiar, even the things that once made you feel safe. Some will ask, how do I know I'm ready? The truth is, you'll never be completely ready. No one ever truly is when it comes to the biggest turning points in life. The only thing you need is one single moment where you can say, I will step forward. If this were your only chance in the next 12 years, would you take it? Let that question sit quietly in your mind for a while. Don't answer too quickly. Let it touch the deepest parts of your heart, the place where you keep both your longing and your fear. I've met people who only understood the meaning of their destined door after they'd watched it close. They tell the story with a voice heavy with regret, and almost always end with a whisper, if only. I don't want you one day to speak those same two words, because Aries, you were born to lead, to blaze the trail, to be the first to step into the light when others hesitate. Look back at your own journey. How many times have you stood at the edge of a choice? To continue or to stop, to hold on or to let go, to stay or to walk away? How many times did you choose the safe road? And how many times did you step into the unknown? And can you remember that every time you chose to move forward, even with your heart racing and your knees trembling, those were the moments you grew beyond measure? I believe the door this August will shape far more than just a few days or weeks of your life. It could define an entire chapter, one that lasts up to 12 years. Imagine how different those 12 years could be if you choose to walk through now. How much brighter, lighter, and more meaningful your life could become if you trust that what's on the other side is a new land full of possibility. The universe has its own way of calling each of us. Sometimes it's an unexpected opportunity, sometimes a chance meeting, and sometimes a sudden event you never saw coming. You'll know it's your call, not with your mind, but with your heart. Your heart will know. Tell me, have you ever stood before a door that could change your life? What did you do? Did you walk through or turn away? Your story could be the light for someone else, someone standing exactly where you once stood. And now, while you're still here listening, I want to take you deeper, because before that door closes, the universe always sends signs, but only those who truly pay attention will notice them. It could be someone walking away without explanation, an opportunity slowly slipping out of reach, or a recurring dream about a door with no frame. Those signs, have you seen them yet? Aries, have you ever felt this? One morning you wake up and the air around you feels different. Everything is still in its place, the same familiar walls, the teacup sitting neatly on the table, sunlight spilling through the window just like every other day. But something isn't quite the same. You can't point to it, can't name it exactly, but deep down, you know something is shifting. Sometimes the first sign comes from people. Someone who used to text you every single day suddenly goes silent. A friend you'd see often now struggles to find the time to meet. They're not leaving out of anger, there's no big argument, but the distance grows quietly like a fog that slowly fills the sky. At first you look for reasons, then you accept it. Yet somewhere deep inside you know a thread is thinning. Other times the sign comes from the very opportunities you once held close. A project you've poured your heart into suddenly put on hold indefinitely. A career door you thought had swung wide open quietly shuts without warning. It all happens softly without drama, yet leaves an odd emptiness, as if someone just slipped something precious right out of your hands. And sometimes the sign comes in dreams. You see yourself standing before a door with no frame, in the middle of an endless open field. No wall, no path leading to it, just a door standing alone. You don't know what's on the other side, but your heart races as your hand touches the handle. Then you wake up still feeling it in your chest, half eager, half hesitant. I want you to know none of this is random. The universe rarely speaks in words. It speaks through gentle waves, fleeting images, quiet shifts that carry meaning. Others may call it coincidence, but I believe it's the language of the universe. And those who stop to listen, those who notice, will always be guided to exactly where they need to be. There's something I've learned after years of listening to hundreds of life stories. Most moments that turn a life around begin with signs so small you could almost miss them. A glance, a silence, a single missed meeting. Things fragile enough to overlook, yet powerful enough to change the entire direction of your life. Do you dare to believe that the dream you had last night might be a message from destiny? That the disappearance of a person, the slipping away of an opportunity, or that strange image in your sleep might be the universe whispering that you are standing at a crossroads? This kind of belief isn't for the hurried. It's for those brave enough to pause, to feel, to look deeper into every detail of their lives. Remember, not all signs feel pleasant. Some carry the tang of loss, like biting into a lemon, your face tightening, but your senses waking up. Losing someone you thought would be there for the long haul can pinch the heart. Watching an opportunity pass can leave you quiet for days. But that sour taste, it's proof that you still feel, that your heart is still alive and still on the journey to what truly belongs to you. So I want to invite you to do something small. Think of one recent sign that made you stop and ask yourself, is the universe trying to tell me something? It could be an event, a dream, or just a fleeting feeling. Share that story, because you never know, someone listening might find comfort in it, or even a light for their own path. And then, once you've recognized those signs, the next question will come. What will you do with them? Will you hold on, try to cling to what's already slipping away? Or will you choose another way, the way of someone who knows how to keep their flame burning without letting the wind carry it off? Aries, I know you're used to moving forward, to never backing down from any challenge. The fire in you has always been the fire of a pioneer, bright, fierce, unwilling to accept defeat. But today, I want to invite you into a different space of strength, a space few people talk about, yet it's the one that keeps your flame burning longer and shining brighter. Vanga once said, sometimes, strength isn't in clenching your fist, it's in daring to open your hand. And in Buddhism, they call it letting go, not because we don't care, but because we understand it's time to place our hands in the care of a new flame. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is knowing that every cycle has its end, and to begin another, we must make room. Aries, I understand your instinct is to fight to the very end, to hold on to what you believe in, to protect what you love. But sometimes, the greatest victory isn't in holding tight, it's in knowing when to stop. You might call it the wisdom of someone who's lived enough, or a step back to move further ahead. I call it the art of protecting your flame. Picture yourself holding a torch that's burned out. The light is fading, the fire just a faint flicker. You grip the handle tighter, trying to keep the last bit of warmth. But the longer you hold on, the more you realize all you have left is ash. Letting go may feel empty at first, but it's also the moment your hands are free to receive a new flame, warmer, brighter, stronger. Maybe you're not losing them at all. Maybe you're simply being returned to yourself. This isn't just about a relationship. It could be a project that's drained your energy, a dream that's outlived its time, or an image of yourself you've held on to only because you're afraid to disappoint others. Sometimes, the departure of these things is the greatest gift life could give you. I know, it's easy to say, but when you face it for real, letting go always carries that bitter taste at the tip of your tongue. It's the ache of watching a chapter close, the quiet when you're not sure what the next page will hold. But have you noticed? It's in that very space that new light begins to seep in. I want you to try something small right now. Write down one thing, just one, that you're ready to put down this month. Don't worry about how you'll feel reading it later. What matters is, you look it in the eye, call it by its name, and admit it's time for it to go. When you write it down, you're sending a message to yourself and to the universe. I'm ready for something new. And you know what? When you let go from a place of love, the universe won't let that empty space stay empty for long. It will fill it with things that match who you are now, with people, opportunities, and experiences that let your fire burn bright without burning out. Let letting go be a choice, not the result of being forced to release. When you choose, you hold the power. You choose the timing. You open the door for change. And then when you stand there, your hands free, your heart lighter, you'll realize you've stepped into an entirely new chapter. One where every choice you make today will echo for years to come. And that's what I want you to feel right now. Because what you choose to release today will shape an entire new cycle, one that could last the next 12 years of your life. Aries, picture this August as a moment standing on a long bridge connecting the two shores of your life. On one side, the past 12 years, everything you've lived through, everything you've held on to, everything you've let go. On the other side, the next 12 years, unwritten, untouched, unknown. And right now, you are standing in the very middle of that bridge. Can you feel it? That sense that time is slowing down. Each heartbeat ringing louder, clearer. Not because the world outside has stopped moving, but because something inside you knows. One choice in this moment could ripple through the entire cycle ahead. The door of August, it doesn't just open for weeks or months. It opens or closes for an entire 12 years. I believe each of us has milestones like this in our lifetime. Some see them, step through, and open a new path. Some miss them and keep walking in the same old circles. The truth is, you can't go back. You can't change what's behind you, but you hold the full power to choose how the next 12 years will unfold. 12 years from now will look different only if you take the step today. That's not meant to pressure you. It's to remind you the power is in your hands. The power to choose light over fear, to move forward instead of standing still, to open instead of closing. Think back 12 years ago. Where were you? Who were you? How many dreams came to life? And how many are still tucked away in the attic of your memory? Now look ahead, 12 years from now, what do you want to see? Who do you want by your side? How do you want to feel each morning you wake up? Every answer you just imagined will be seeded by what you choose today. I know taking this step isn't easy, because to walk into a new chapter, you'll have to set aside a few old ones, even if they once felt safe, even if they once felt warm. But if you let fear of loss hold you back, you'll trade away an entire era of your life just to stay in the comfort zone. I've met so many people who, at the end of a long cycle, realized their deepest regret wasn't what they did, but what they didn't do when they had the chance. And Aries, I don't want you, 12 years from now, to be sitting there asking, what would have happened if I had taken that step? Let this moment be your declaration to the universe. I choose the light. I choose to step forward. Because when you send out that energy, every right door will swing open, every aligned soul will find you, and everything you need will begin moving toward you. If you're hearing my voice now, I want you to write in the comments, I choose the light. Not for me to see, but for you to see. For you to mark this moment as your choice, your promise to yourself and to your life. And when you're ready, I'll show you how to keep your energy tuned steady, bright, so that when you walk through that door, you don't just enter a new chapter. You carry with you a light big enough to guide the entire journey ahead. Aries, sometimes the biggest turning points in life don't begin with the sound of drums or a burst of bright light. They start with small actions repeated every single day, like a drop of water falling in the same spot over and over until it carves out an entire stream. And if this August is the doorway to your destiny, then these 3 small actions will be the keys that unlock it. Let's begin with your morning. Before the noise of the world finds you, Give yourself 3 minutes for a golden, light meditation. Sit somewhere quiet, close your eyes. Imagine right at the center of your chest a radiant sphere of golden light. Feel it expand, flowing through your shoulders, down your arms, wrapping around your entire body, then spilling out into the space around you. You might even feel that warmth touching every cell like a gentle reminder that you are protected, supported, and connected to something higher. This isn't just an exercise in imagination. It's a way of aligning yourself with the energy of new beginnings and new opportunities. Then comes the second step: write down what you need to let go of. It sounds simple, but to take something from the deepest part of your mind and place it on paper takes courage. It might be a relationship that no longer nourishes you, a fear that keeps repeating, or a habit that's kept you in the safe zone for far too long. When you write it down, you're not just admitting it exists, you're placing it outside of your body, outside of your heart. And in that exact moment, you've begun to set yourself free. In Buddhist philosophy, naming your pain is the first step in breaking its hold over you. The third step, the one that will keep you connected to this commitment: keep a symbol of fire with you. It could be a ring, a pendant, or some small object you carry every day. Fire is your element. Aries, it stands for strength, for rebirth, for the decision to never turn back. Every time you see it or touch it, let it remind you you've chosen to move forward. You've chosen not to walk the old road again. No matter how you feel that day, that small object will be a gentle but steady whisper that you've chosen the light. These 3 actions may seem simple, but that simplicity carries real power. No one builds a bridge in a single night, but brick by brick, placed in the right spot, will take you to the other side. Big change always begins with small habits, repeated until they become part of who you are. And I want you to try this starting tomorrow morning. 3 minutes of golden light meditation. 1 written line for what you're ready to release. 1 symbol of fire kept close. Do it for 7 days and see what happens. Maybe you'll feel lighter. Maybe you'll notice yourself moving forward without looking back. Or maybe you'll realize that the door ahead of you has opened just a little wider, inviting you to step through. Because Aries, this door will not wait forever. And once it closes, it could be a long time before another appears. But when you finally walk through carrying your light, your clarity, and your own flame, nothing will be able to stop you from stepping fully into the future you deserve. Aries, there are some truths that, when you first hear them, you'll want to delay. You'll want to find a reason to say, maybe tomorrow. But the universe doesn't run on our calendar. It has its own rhythm, its own current. And when it brings you a faded opportunity, it doesn't stand forever at the threshold. If you don't step through, the door will close and you may have to wait another 12 years to stand in this very place again. 12 years, it might sound long, but in a lifetime, it's only a few blinks. And in those blinks, you could lose so much. You could miss people you were meant to meet, experiences you were meant to live, dreams you were meant to ignite, all because of a moment's hesitation today. I've seen it happen. People standing at the edge of a breakthrough and stepping back just because they were afraid to fail, afraid of being judged, afraid of losing what they already had. And then, 12 years later, they realized the cost of hesitation was far greater than the cost of moving forward. They lost not only the opportunity, but also their belief in themselves. Aries, life doesn't wait. If you think you can stand still and the world will pause until you're ready, you'll soon discover the harsh truth: the world keeps turning and opportunities keep moving. Once you've seen the door, felt it, and know it's meant for you, you don't have much time left to linger. Is it worth paying the price of 12 years just because you didn't dare to open the door? I want you to keep that question close, not to scare you, but to help you feel the full weight of your choice. 12 years is not just a number. It's a life cycle, a stretch of time where you could rewrite your story or keep rereading the same worn page. You don't have to know the entire road ahead. You just have to know you'll take the step. Because sometimes, the only thing standing between us and a new life is how long we linger at the doorway. If you're hearing my voice right now, I'm inviting you to do something right now. Write down your choice. Write it so you can see it, so you won't forget it, so you can send a signal to yourself and to the universe that says, I choose to move forward. I choose to open the door. Because when you commit through action, your energy changes. And when that door opens, it's not just a step forward. It's a declaration to life itself that you are ready to step into a stronger, brighter, and more complete version of yourself. And on the other side of that door is a journey of rebirth waiting for you to enter. A journey where the light within you will not only guide your own path, but also shine for those still searching for their way out of the dark. Aries, there are days when you feel like you've lost too much. Lost someone who once held your hand through long stretches of the road. Lost a dream you once believed would last forever. Lost a version of yourself you thought was everything. But then, in the middle of that vast emptiness, you begin to hear another sound, soft but clear, the call of your own soul. When you let go, you're not just putting down a burden. You're opening an invisible door for the light to pour in, like clearing out a dark room that hasn't been touched in years. The first sunlight slips through a crack in the door. Dust dances in the air, glittering like tiny pieces of gold. And you realize this space has always been beautiful. It was just hidden under too many things that no longer belong to you. I believe every goodbye is a ritual. Not a sad one, but a ritual of release. In Buddhist teaching, when you let go of a bond that no longer resonates, you are loosening tangled karmic threads woven over lifetimes. You're not only lightening your present, you're clearing the path ahead. Aries, the moment you choose the light, you become the light. And that light doesn't just guide your own steps. It becomes a beacon for someone else in the dark to see and walk toward. You may never know all the lives touched by your choice. Someone quietly watching you start anew. A stranger in a cafe who hears your story and realizes they too can begin again. You haven't lost anything, you're coming back to yourself. To the truest you, not defined by the past, not limited by fear, not imprisoned by what's already gone. You return with a heart that can love without losing its freedom, and hands that can reach for new opportunities without fearing the scars of the old. I want you to remember a moment, just one, when you turned a goodbye into a beginning. Maybe back then you thought you were falling apart, but now, looking back, you see it was the moment you were reborn. Share that story, because somewhere out there, it could be the medicine for a trembling heart. We often think an ending is a stop, but in truth, it's only a comma, a pause to take a deep breath before you keep writing your story. This August, let the ending you're facing become the opening lines of a new chapter, one of freedom, of light, and of a fuller, truer you. Thank you for taking the time to listen and for opening your heart to this message. I wish you, this August, the courage to step through and the peace to welcome every new light that comes your way.